saved.
Okay. I wonder if the Shinji interactions are sequential or based on the location that he's in. That's a great question. It's not obvious one way or another. He doesn't really reference things in the location. Oh, Bearchan! That's right, a famous dog on the island that saved a man's life. The perfect description. Very good. Okay, so if I use my Q vision here, is that going to help me find the entrance to the sewer or whatever? Maybe it's up there? I mean... Oh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Blood crystal obtained.
That's fine. And here is... Am I back at my pool, or is this a different pool? I'm back at my pool. Okay. I don't... None of these secret hearts really map to Crimson Acid's location, so that doesn't really help. Is it down on the beach? I just honestly do not remember how I got there. Sure, why not?
Relic obtained.
Dangerously delicious. I'm gonna say I did spend some time down on the beach, so let's go down on the beach. Oh, there's a Shinji. Let's look at that. This is a work of art. The integrity of the Syndicate is the canvas. A knife is the brush. Is it modern art? Abstract? Formal? Who can say it? I always hated art. Anyway, gotta run. Thanks, buddy. It's pretty good. Okay. Anything obviously down here, and I have not been to this particular location, so... An old superstition says that skimming runestones into the sea is a way to ease the consequences of your actions. Well, that's fun. Is it there? Is that an underground thing? Is there a phone right next to it? Fuck, yes! Indeed. Let's unlock this fast travel, and now we can come back here. She called us. We haven't maybe ever been here? Yeah, that's possible. I don't actually recognize this little steam tunnel, so... Okay. Then let's talk to Crimson Acid. Good to see you again, lady. It's been too long. Yeah, so this is the first time I've actually talked to her. Born in the hospital of our martyred goat, England, in AD 1002, under the sign of Endless Moon. So I was working under the assumption that we split off from reality in the year 1000, but for no particular reason. This suggests that maybe that's not true. As a teenager, Crimson left home to fight for Endless Moon in France. She excelled. So maybe maybe the whatever, the big betrayal war started around 1000 and went on for a couple of years or something. She excelled at guerrilla operations and became known as the glamour of the battlefield due to her stunning beauty and presence. When the Great Betrayal happened, she fled to join the Syndicate.
Good work.
How did she get a goat head? We're in a dark time. Someone played a hell of a hand against the Syndicate. It's bad enough to bring the exile back. Yeah,
Sorry.
Sure is. Forgive me for being blunt, Crimson, but...
My ways.
Oh. Yeah, let's just ask. The head? Things changed. While you were gone, I got blessed by the gods. Because you got deceived? What's the relationship between being blessed and... I don't understand. I will compliment her, though. She seems cool. New look suits you. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi.
That's weird.
That's weird! What's the A to B to C with the new sewer pad? Quiet place to get away from everyone. After I became blessed, Montserrat convinced me to be the Syndicate's idol.
Doesn't add up.
Someone for the citizens to look up to. If you pray hard enough and serve the gods as best you can, yada yada, you'll be blessed with a goat head and that kind of thing, I guess? I don't know. It's good to have a place to hide away and run my sideline. Everyone needs their own space. I'm all business? Actually, well, but this isn't a hangout, so I guess I'm all business. How's the market in secrets?
Thank you.
On an island full of snakes where everyone's got something to lose and something to gain,
Thank you.
business is booming.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, before we get into the secrets I can sell you, we need to talk about your investigation. Judge brought you back from exile. You have their authority. You can find any truth. Lady, you're in some deep trouble. Not everyone wants you to punish the guilty. They're going to want you to remove certain players and redefine the shape of the Syndicate for their own ends. Be careful with the power you've got, lady.
Good work.
So you want to buy a secret? Starlight upgrades. How can I help? Starlight upgrades. Have you got any upgrades for Starlight?
Cool.
You've come to the goddamn right place. Guess you're breaking into this nightmare computers looking for evidence. I've got an upgrade which will give you Starlight the ability to read more of the symbols, get you into more systems, more evidence.
Nice doing business with you.
10 blood crystals. Fuck yes, I got so many blood crystals. I will take that.
Good.
Okay, so... I wish some of this was signposted just a little bit better, because in hindsight, it's clear what's going on. Crimson Acid is like... represents... Okay. Narratively, Crimson Acid is on the other side, or even is like a broker in secrets, right? Like, represents a major source of information that offers a different perspective, a specifically different perspective than everybody else on the island, who all have their own stories, but all of their stories sort of tie together in certain ways. Crimson Acid is a different way of thinking about things and is going to offer me some information that I wouldn't otherwise have. The game is gating a lot of the nightmare computers, a lot of like progress and further information behind you should go see Crimson Acid, and Crimson Acid is going to introduce you to some different ways of thinking about the stuff that's on this island. And the game, to be fair, did like kind of present that. Gave us a phone call where Crimson Acid said, come and find me. I'm in the sewers. I deal in secrets. It's going to be worthwhile. But the game presented me with a lot of stuff, especially at the beginning. And a lot of like different leads to follow. And this sort of massive challenge of here is a big open space with no good way to map it, like figure out how to understand this space, which I take as a like explore around and try to understand that space. That's a priority, maybe even above some of the narrative goals, because I know that as I pursue my narrative goals, I'm gonna want to be able to navigate this space, right? Like that's gonna be important. So anyway, the reason that it has felt like Jesus, all of these Nightmare computers all require Cosmos, is because they do. Because like the game wants to enforce at some level some kind of a gate that we come and talk to Crimson Acid before we go and do too much other stuff. That was just, I got lost in all of the other stuff and never came and talked to Crimson Acid, and so now I've got that, right? Like that totally makes sense. I would have loved to have been able to say at some point, hey, the reason that I'm getting stymied, the reason that I can't make progress in these things that I'm like trying to butt my head against is because I haven't gone and talked to Crimson Acid yet. I wish that had been sort of like consistently pinged onto my radar, so that was a little bit more obvious. But it was also in my notes. I guess I don't consult my notes enough. Anyway, it's not like I wasn't having fun. I had fun. I've been having fun with the game. I just feel like this is going to open up some new stuff. If you need more upgrades, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is the only one I have. I think that completes the set for me, though. You should try buying a drink if you haven't. Heat on the street is that Dead Nebula knows where one is, right? Vending machines.
Sure.
I also heard one of the power station employees found something they shouldn't have.
The investigator
Already
is
done
here.
it. Yep. I mean, this is clearly... I was supposed to come here to figure out where I should go to get the rest of the upgrades that I already got. No, wait. That's not what I
Business
wanted.
is booming.
I don't care. That's fine. I'm getting Starlight's skins. Now I'm opening up all the damn phones. No, that's not the
Business is
button.
business.
Stop it. There we go.
Key license obtained.
Okay, I'm gonna need to install this. A knowledge tablet for Starlight. Please manually install. These symbols were carved on an altar on a frigid asteroid following in the wake of destroyed Eden. Allow Starlight to process cosmos glyphs. I don't remember destroyed Eden. That seems important. Alright. Wow. I'm going to have a lot of case files, I think. Let's fucking do it. You think Henry did it? Do you? No, I don't. I'm asking you.
Who knows?
I don't have enough details. How did he escape? How did he breach the seals? The answer to every question seems to be a hand wave, and he's possessed by a demon. Agreed. Convenient answers are dangerous. I do like that the game has allowed me to talk to a bunch of people and come to these conclusions, or that conclusion at least, that then is being sort of confirmed for me. What secrets do you have? Anyone got a motive for last night? Lady, I got lots of secrets to sell. I can give you a lot of different people's motives. I just don't have an opinion about who did it.
Sure.
Who's got motive then?
Weird.
These all come at a price. I'm not handing out candy. Secrets take a lot of work to acquire. I've got something on the Grand Marshal, the Architect, the Doctor, the Happy Couple, and Witness.
Business is booming.
Take your pick, but come with your wallet.
Glad to be back.
You're gonna make a tidy profit.
Don't be coy.
A mass murder opens the market for people looking to buy secrets.
Me.
Is that an accusation? Wait, what? That's okay. That's an aggressive-looking body posture for accused. I'm not going to do that. I've still got some investigating to do. I'm going to be straight up with you, lady. The island is full of snakes, and I want you to hear this from me.
Secrets breed mysteries.
I hate what the Syndicate has done to me. I'm an idol they trot out to rally the citizens. I gloss over the misery with a pretty smile. I haven't got anything against idols, but this isn't for me. Montserrat devolved into paranoia. Sorry to speak ill of the dead. He was tightening his grip on us all.
Thank you.
One of the first things to go on the next island is my little emporium. Dictators can't have someone peddling secrets, can they? Is that enough to drive you to kill the entire council? No. I didn't do it, but someone did, and they're going to want to shift the blame. That's why I'm being straight with you. That seems reasonable, frankly. Sayaj says, when I played this, Ezra's upgrade gated me, which fundamentally changed how I perceive the investigation. There's a lot to see without the upgrades. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I not disagreeing with that. I feel like I've done a lot of investigating and am not hurting for content. I keep getting distracted from the like tasks that I set myself on by other things that I can go and do and look into. I keep getting like a pretty steady drip of information and new stuff about the island. So I'm not complaining about that. And I can totally see you can have these be multiple gates. For example, the soda machine one is clearly just is a gate on having explored the island to some extent, and you don't have to do all of the vending machines. You only have to do, frankly, like a fairly small percentage, I think, but it's enough that you have to go around to a bunch of places. You have to do quite a bit of exploration. I just did that first. I did that before I really got concerned about going around and talking to everybody. And maybe that's the point. Somebody in the YouTube comments sort of pointed this out as well, that my approach to this game has not been really focused on, hey, I'm the investigator. I got to go and interrogate all of the people who are potentially involved or witnesses. I've been very like, I'm going to explore this island. And that is one of the gates, right? Is exploring the island. The other one is coming and talking to this person in particular. So yeah, I think the game, I like that setup. I think that's a great setup, and the game has the content to sort of support it. I just wish that it was signaled. And it's not even better, like, because Crimson Acid is I think the only person other than Lydia who called me, like, specifically. So that signal's fairly hard. There's just a lot going on and a lot to keep track of. And if I'm only playing this game for 2 hours a week, then I have to sort of like be reminded of some of the important things. Like Crimson Acid is somebody that you should definitely go and talk to. Yeah. J9Ac9, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I want to say Jack. This is a really good observation, though. I'm intrigued by the arc of how you, as a player, pick dialogue, from who you wanted Love Dies to be, to who you thought she was supposed to be, to now how she can potentially manipulate for information like we did with Yuri. Yeah, I mean, I'm only sort of half conscious of that, but 100%. I'm also, I think, falling back a little bit into, I'm less concerned with who she's supposed to be, because I'm a little frustrated that I can't quite hit that consistently. But yeah, I feel like the more time I spend with Love Dies and with the world, the more I'm sort of getting a complexity to her character that influences certainly the way that I think about her and the way that she would interact with other characters. I still don't... I appreciate that when I'm doing the hangout or spend time or whatever with somebody, that I have to make a correct choice in order to build my relationship with them, which is kind of manipulative, and I think that's super cool, and I'm down with it, I'm into it. But a lot of the other dialogue feels really meaningless. Feels like not the actual dialogue, not the conversation, but like the dialogue choices that I have. Even I am really kind of annoyed at like just clicking down a list to exhaust all of the dialogue options. And some of these that are more emotive, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I get a lot of lasting impact out of that, or consistent reaction in a way that would make it feel really meaningful. So it feels a little shallow to me. But it's, I love that observation. I think that's super fun.
Ooh, the investigator is
how
here.
that has changed over the course of the game. So Yuri's got things to say about you. I bet he does. He's not my biggest fan. He says you want to be a soldier again. Says you want to be in the Marshals.
Who knows?
How'd you two start talking
The
about that?
investigator is here.
Asking around about
Who
motives.
knows?
And he thinks that's enough to be my motive, that I'd kill the council just to try to get to be a marshal. Yeah, that seems pretty weird.
Who knows?
It's true. Lady, do you really think that's a motive for mass murder? No, I think that's pretty tenuous, frankly. Sounds tenuous. I'm glad you said that. I was dreading the snakes getting to you. It's no secret I want out of a life forced on me. I would love to be a soldier again.
Secrets free
It has to
mysteries.
be done the right way, though, not through mass murder. Okay, do you have an alibi? I was here at my hideout, waiting for Lydia's pickup. I'm always one of the last to leave the islands. Yuri thinks he's funny by making me wait. I left when Judge summoned everyone for the crisis meeting. Okay. Any evidence? None.
I don't like this.
That paints you in a bad light. I can only tell you the truth. If I knew a mass murder was going down, I'd have got a way to corroborate my alibi. Yeah. Frankly, having no alibi from a narrative perspective seems safer to me than having a bad alibi. There weren't any whispers of what was about to happen? Nothing. If Henry didn't do this, whoever did it managed to keep it extremely quiet. Am I taking your word on that? I'm running a business here. If I had something, I'd sell it to you. KHX is not missing anymore. Got any secrets to sell about KHX?
What do you mean?
Why are you asking?
it.
He's missing. He designed the second Holy Seal, and that was key to getting to the council. I haven't heard anything about it. I know he's missing, but nothing has come up. Nothing about his dead body on the beach that I found and have told people about. I think. Didn't I tell people about it? Why would a Kiko kill the
Who's
council?
that?
Seekers aren't free. No, I know. Spend two whole blood crystals, huh?
Nice doing business with you.
Minimal
I have my
imperfections.
ways.
Akiko is a soldier through and through. She's also their leader. They're the only family she's ever
Secrets
wanted.
are dangerous.
The Marshals aren't syndicate, though. They're citizens. What? A security measure by Montserrat. They don't have our immortality, and they don't get moved between islands.
Sure.
That makes them expendable, too. Akiko has endured a millennia of sadness, watching her troops die or get left behind. She wants them in the Syndicate. Get them gene therapied up and create a battalion of immortal soldiers. End her heartache. Damn, that's, that whole situation. Jesus. She has motioned the syndicate to try to get her marshals inducted. Been refused every time. She's hurting and she's angry. Wow. Dark. That's dark. What does she get for murdering the council? She wouldn't be promoted to a position where she can change the rules and keep her marshals alive between islands. She'd used the murder to scare the new council. The untouchables became touched by the hand of death. She can argue for increased militarization on the next island, scapegoat it on a citizen, and panic the next council into creating martial law with troops inducted into the syndicate.
The investigator is here.
Use loyal troops rather than expendable troops. Precisely, Montserrat was always scared of immortal soldiers having dangerous thoughts and leading a coup.
Be coy.
If Akiko did this, she proves that the threat isn't from the marshals.
Got it.
Got any proof? Sure, I pulled this from the Moon database. You know, the Moon database. You never know when something like this will come in useful. A motion that she filed. Okay, motion tabled to the council. Grand Marshal Akiko 14 formally requests that God Justice Marshals are inducted into the syndicate. Motion was declined. Unanimous vote. See also historical motions. Lady, here's more. I haven't got proof, so I'm not charging you for what I'm about to say. Akiko falls in love with her troops. That's why she hurts so much. She has had a string of relationships throughout the islands.
That's strange.
Is there someone special on this island? Captain Voth. He's the highest ranking marshal under Akiko. Captain Voth was one of the Holy Seal marshals murdered last night. He and Akiko were in an illicit relationship. Except that he wasn't, right? Because the bodies that were found were not actually the marshals. They were swapped out. Highest ranking marshals are chosen to guard the council during the birth of a new
What
island.
the hell?
So he was murdered last night, but
Funny.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't actually. Right? I'm saying this because I'm not 100% sure that that's what I've found out, but I think that that's what I found out is that he wasn't actually killed. So if her lovers are dying when the island ends, her motive is to kill the council to push her agenda through, get her marshals into the syndicate, and make them immortal.
Sure.
That's a pretty big bet to make. Something doesn't add up. I'm not convinced Voth died last night. There we go.
Business is business.
Don't tease, lady. That sounds like a secret. Don't secrets have costs?
We're in a dark time.
I'll refund you for our earlier transaction. Oh! Hold on. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I want to say yes. I want to agree. For two reasons. One is from a gameplay standpoint. I think what's happening here is that I can sell information, right? And information is what I'm doing anyway. I'm collecting stuff, and I can sell it here for money. That is a sort of like transactional collective mode that games train us to think in. In this kind of an open world game, I am used to the idea of if I go out and I discover stuff and I come back to the right person, I can sell that for a profit. So great. This seems like a thing I should just do. I also like Crimson Acid, and I want her to like me because I want her to tell me stuff. She seems really open, and I appreciate that, and I want to keep that information flowing. But I'm not sure that there's actually a mechanical relationship meter underneath this that is going to be affected by whether I sell her information or not. And from a strategic standpoint, which maybe is just role-playing, but also could be significant. Like, I could believe, especially if it turns out that Crimson Acid is behind some of this, the amount that I tell her about my investigation might come back to haunt me. Ooh, Jack, so that's a great question. Oh man, does that mean she might sell it to someone else? I wonder how sophisticated the secret market system is. Can you plant information? So, two thoughts from me for that. One is that I think the secret market system is not sophisticated. I don't think that there is any kind of market simulation happening. It is possible that if I tell her something, then that means that triggers the game to have that information distributed further. But I think it would be a very simple linear thing like that. You know, if I sell her information, then that information spreads to a particular person and changes the conversation that I would have with them. I don't think there's a marketplace. There does not seem to be any room for me to lie, to plant information or anything like that. That seems like way beyond what the game is actually capable of doing. Yeah, I think those are basically my two things that I was going to say. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to refuse and see how she takes it. And also see, is it possible for me to go back and agree? Oh, fuck. But here's the thing. In the Hangouts, I'm pretty sure we only get positive reinforcement. If we say the right thing, then it tells us that our relationship is increased. If we say the wrong thing, then I think just nothing happens. We don't get a bonus. So it could be that if I agree, if I say yes, then I get a bonus to my relationship. That's not out of the realm of possibility. There is that system. It does exist. It's not traditionally in this kind of dialogue, but it could be. And if I refuse, then I'm not gonna know. I think Lady Love Dies is secretive.
Don't test me.
Not gonna offer again. I'll keep it to myself. I mean, I don't need the 2 crystals. I'm swimming in crystals. Okay, I just want to go through all this stuff, I think. And buy the motives. Why would Carmelina want to kill the council?
Is business.
It just costs 1. I guess it's how
work.
good is the information, maybe? Carmelina isn't allowed on the council. The Silence family were barred from ever being on the council. That's right.
Thank you.
You remember her father's crime, right? Romeo's fall from
The
grace.
investigator is here.
He was deceived by cosmic deceit. That's right. Cosmic deceit deceived him with promises of power. Standard stuff. Cosmic deceit wanted Romeo to sacrifice Crying Grudge in a ritual. Is that something that a person can do? Interesting. That would give Cosmic Deceit enough power to resurrect.
That's
Oh.
strange.
Resurrecting the gods is our mission, but not at the expense of deceptions and sacrificing other gods.
Don't be coy.
Romeo was stopped before he could go through with it. His punishment was execution, and the rest of his family being barred from a council seat for eternity. But Carmelina is in charge now. The ruling still stands. Carmelina is on the throne right now. Judge thinks they made the right call. It's a temporary situation.
my way.
She's the highest rank outside of the council, and we're about to move to a new perfect island that Carmelina designed. This transition to our eternal home needs to go right, and she's best placed to get us through it. Has Carmelina protested the ruling in the past? She's submitted motions to have the ruling overturned and to get on the council. All have been denied. Can I see those motions? Of course, I pulled them from the Moon database. Yeah, sure. I'll give you a little extra for free. I don't know if this helps with anything, though. About 25 years ago, Carmelina went into isolation for a year. No one saw her.
Nanny the hell?
Any idea why? She said it was for work. She had a new project and didn't want to be disturbed. Nothing ever came of it, though. we were never shown the fruits of her labor. Huh.
Sure.
Why do you think this matters? You know when you get a bad feeling and it festers? Maybe I just needed to say it out loud. Maybe it means something. 25 years ago. And that was before the Henry Danger... No. Henry something? What the fuck is his name? It was before the demon got summoned 10 years ago. Okay, Doom Jazz. Sexy doctor. Why would Doom Jazz kill the council?
Thank you.
Got the cash to pay for a secret. This is a big one. Hey, Waffles. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. Spend 3. Sure.
you.
He knows the original secret. Before the first island, during the Great Betrayal, Montserrat made a mistake that got Doom Jazz's father killed. This was before you joined up with the Syndicate. He was our original military general, a legendary soldier. I'd always heard rumors about him before I joined the Syndicate. There weren't many humans the gods feared, but he was one of them. Doom Jazz was? When the Syndicate fled to the first island, Montserrat made a stupid call. Oh, Doom Jazz's father. Got it. When the Syndicate fled to the first island, Montserrat made a stupid call to investigate a tomb that was supposed to contain a heavenly weapon. He was wrong. There was nothing there. Doom Jazz's father attempted to hold off the pursuing armies during Montserrat's folly. It was too much. Our pursuers broke through and killed half of the Syndicate before we got away. So, I guess we know that the Syndicate is larger than just this, like, dozen people on this island. But how big is the Syndicate, and do they induct new members? I guess they could, and I guess they probably do. Where do they get them? From the citizenry? Or do they pick out special people from Earth? Or it just seems like even though they're immortal, we do keep losing Syndicate members. Like, over the years, we do keep losing Syndicate members. They killed half of them right here. So how many are there exactly? And, like, how does that number change over time? The incident was struck from history. Wow, the incident was struck from history. But some of the existing council members know about it. Ayaz Kiwami likes to talk when he's had a drink, and Doom Jazz was his closest friend. He let the secret slip. I don't think I've heard of Ayaz Kiwami before. Ayaz Kiwami had some skeletons in his closet. He got found out. The next island is going to be a bad time for him. He took his own life a few years ago. I mean, either one of these, quite frankly. I want to know both of this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
It's rare for Syndicate members to take their own life. Unheard of for council members. A secret for another time. Okay. Yes, the Daybreaks. Tell me about the Daybreaks.
Nice doing business with you.
Just
you.
one, huh? I know about their last job. What last job?
Thank you.
Back in the day, Lydia told you that after she met Sam, they left the world of assassination for good, right? It isn't that easy. Once you're in that world, you are bound to it until you fulfill all of your duties. An assassin is the most effective tool in the world. All tools have owners. In order to leave their old life behind, Lydia's former master had her do one last job.
Business is business.
She had to destabilize a government in Europe. Several dead officials allowed for a regime change.
Strange.
Why didn't she tell me this? We've been friends for millennia. She's ashamed. They vowed to end the killing. Sam helped her do the job. They were in it together. It's not as romantic as the story they told everyone, is it? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Always be suspicious of romantic stories, lady. Life doesn't work like that. That just doesn't seem that bad. Is this what the council murder is? A regime change? Oh, okay. Okay. Who can say? Was it revenge, a crime of passion, a regime change? You've got some investigating to do. So it could be actually that Lydia and Sam committed the murders, but they did it as assassins. Like, they were paid by somebody else. That's interesting. What about Witness? Sure. Witness was growing to despise Montserrat.
My way.
Montserrat was tightening his grip on us all. Montserrat was giving in to paranoia, worried about his precious, perfect island.
Me.
History was repeating. The island was shrouded in fear.
boy.
We'd all grown complacent and happy in our freedoms. Montserrat had always been building towards a perfect island and a perfect syndicate. As you know, the syndicate was formed with the goal of resurrecting our gods. 24 islands in, and we weren't doing a good job, that's for sure. Almost all the pyramids out in the ocean sit empty. Oh, are there a bunch of pyramids out in the ocean? I didn't even realize that. Montserrat didn't care, though. He decided that was step 2. That's a leading sort of a statement. What was step 1? Our efforts have always been divided between resurrecting the gods and improving the islands. If Montserrat could make the syndicate perfect, we could give our full attention to the gods. Interesting. Why wouldn't Witness want to go along with that? Because he turned into a religious zealot. You've been gone a long while. Montserrat changed. So did Witness. Witness didn't trust Montserrat at all.
The investigator is here.
Has Witness been deceived by a god? Not that I'm aware of. I've never had that suspicion. I think this was just some self-radicalization.
Thank you.
He slipped further and further into worship and fear of the astral masters. You don't need to be deceived into being a servant when you've already got a healthy dose of the end times fear in you. So Witness murders the council to put the fear of the gods into them and refocus the syndicate on our holy mission? I'm not saying that's what happened, but if you want to pin a motive on Witness, it's what I'd go with. That's an interesting phrasing that really suggests what the trial is going to end up looking like. Less of a Phoenix Wright style, do I have the evidence to answer this line of questioning, and more of a, okay, so who do you accuse? And then what is the evidence that you present to sort of back up that accusation? Which that seems like it's going to be fun when we get there. Witness believes we're heading for the end times.
What the hell?
How can we have end times if our gods are dead or dormant? Only a handful of gods came to Earth. The rest of them are out there. Fuck. The gods are self-serving morons. That is a hell of a thing to say, Lady Loved Eyes. I guess that tracks. As somebody who was exiled for being deceived by one of the gods, that tracks. Okay. They've never looked out for their own kind.
Who knows?
Take it up with Witness. I have no time for religious debates. Witness's alibi. So Witness was with what's her name, the architect, in his apartment, but he stepped out to take a phone call, or she stepped out to take a phone. Somebody stepped out to take a phone call, but just for a couple of minutes. Carmelina, right? Carmelina went to visit him last night. You should speak to her. Yeah. Did you see Yuri last night? Yuri handles Lydia on the last night of the island. Let's just go through these alibis. Grand Marshal.
Good work.
I didn't see Akiko last night. You should speak to her. Carmelina. I heard she was hanging out with the Witness. Seems odd. It doesn't seem that odd, does it? It seems like that's what everyone expected them to do, and that's what they always do. Did you see the doctor last night? I know something about his clinic, but won't charge you. Find the back door. I did find the back door. It's broken. in a sort of a suspicious way. But it's been broken for like years and years, right? Henry's movement. Is there anything else you can tell me about Henry's movements last night? I got nothing more than what Akiko says, yeah. Did you see Lydia and Sam last night? Lydia should have been doing her fairy woman duties. The log at the gates should confirm something about that. Sweet. And now I can access those. What do you know about the escape last night? Secrets about that haven't worked their way to me. If you think there's more to it, then there seems there might be physical evidence near the scene. What the report says is true. The only way to the council building is through the Syndicate HQ. If he went through there, he'd have been logged. Check out the Nightmare computer logs. I got a lot of Nightmare computers to hack. What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago?
Weird.
Henry's possession worries me. Nothing has surfaced about it. It's either as they say, or someone is keeping it a secret. How did he get the knowledge to communicate with the gods? The library in the HQ is full of forbidden grimoires. Can you tell me anything about the marshals stationed at the First Seal? Already told you, one of the guards was Voth, Akiko's lover. Akiko must be pretty upset.
What the hell?
You haven't heard anything strange about the marshals on the night. Things take a little while to flow downstream. Need to wait for loose lips. I mean, now I'm regretting not telling her about the marshals, because maybe she would have had more information for me in response to that. I mean, who knows? Fucking games, man. Second Holy Seal. What do you know about the Second Holy Seal? One of the secrets I've never been able to get my hands on. Oh. Well, then I know more about that than you do too. Got time for a chat. Find yourself on an island full of criminals. Don't be cocky. You're the one trading secrets.
I have my ways.
Secrets have a life of their own. You ever tried to keep a secret? You can feel them wriggling, flexing, pressing against the skin. They want to get out. They're like parasites. They need to move between hosts. That's
Business
fucking
is
wild.
booming.
I just provide a controlled vector for them.
Why?
Boredom.
Doesn't add up.
I never should have let Montserrat convince me to be an idol. There's nothing wrong with being an
Don't be
idol.
coy.
There isn't, but it's not the life for me. I was caught up in wanting to help the Syndicate. I gave up a life I loved. We're the Syndicate, the ruling elite. It is easy for everyone in that tower to think that crime is something everyone does but them. I'm just keeping a record.
Sure.
Oh, damn!
Business is business.
You're the one buying. Fuck, yeah, I like Crimson Acid. Okay. Crimson said that Witness wasn't deceived into becoming a follower. That makes me think that deception is tricking Syndicate members into doing things that the gods want, but the Syndicate doesn't. The implication is interesting if that's true. Yeah, I'm getting that sense too. And it may be even more specifically like doing things... Well, I guess not more specifically, but might also involve doing things that one god wants, but others do not. Okay, so here's another entrance to this place, and it's right next to that giant spinning globe. Wait, are there multiple giant spinning globes? There might be more than one giant spinning globe. But there might not. I mean, I feel like maybe I have been here. Alright, well, here's another save. I actually have this save point. It just... I mean, I don't even know. No. Yes, I am going to do this. Because I want to do two things. First of all, I want to see what the names of things are. Because I'm curious if... sewer, Moon Shrine. So Moon Shrine I wouldn't have gotten. And that one I did have. Sewer I now also have. Or possibly River Substation. I don't know what the hell the Silent Ghost statue is. Jesus. I don't know what any of these are. Oh no, did I screw this up? I was going to go back to the Paradise Gates because I remember... Okay, I remember the last time I went to the Pantheon Gates, there was a door that was not powered up, but I could see the lines, the power lines going back to shore. And so when I went back to shore, I remember saying, let's go power that up. Did it have a nightmare computer attached to it? And so we couldn't power it up? Now I don't remember. Damn it. I think we couldn't power it up. Fuck. Okay, so that means I should go to... Shit. The pier? The pier. Maybe... Okay, maybe I actually didn't find it. Maybe I found Lydia and got distracted from doing that. So let's go back. This is where Lydia is. This is near, I think, where the power lines are, right? Those are the power lines. Let's go double check this. Waffles asks, have you ever had your students look at games like this? So this is... not this game, because it's relatively new and I am only just playing it. Although this game will probably work its way into some of my lectures. I gotta think about that. I don't know where exactly it fits in, but it is... I think it's certainly an interesting enough game that I would reference it in an appropriate place. But it's longer than any of the games that I would assign to my students, typically, just because, well, and it's also, I try to avoid assigning games that they have to buy, just because a lot of them already have to buy textbooks for a lot of classes and can be really financially pressed. I don't like to add to that where I can avoid it. So in the classes where I assign games, I typically assign a lot of smaller free games. So I teach an experimental class typically in the spring where I will come up with sort of a reading list of games that they can find. No, I want to... cancel saving. Yes. There we go. But in a lot of my classes, I will reference games and talk about them and sort of describe, you know, how they work and how that relates to some sort of a point that I'm trying to make. So I don't know... I don't teach like a class on open world games, open world game design or anything like that. I'm not sure exactly where this would fit in to the classes that I teach, but I think this is there is a lot of interesting stuff in this game that I think it is probably worth my students having some exposure to. I had a lecturer who wrote the class textbook and reordered the homework questions, etc., every 2 years, so you couldn't buy secondhand copies. Yes. Yep. There are some professors who do that. I try not to be one of them. The mystery solving type portion especially. Yeah, so right now I don't teach any classes where I think that is extremely relevant, but it is relevant to my personal interests. And so I could absolutely see that working its way into some kind of a lecture that I gave either for a class or separate from a normal class that I teach, because I think that the way this game approaches the idea of mystery is interesting and different from a lot of other games. Very related to the sort of canon of mystery investigation games that precede it, but it does some things differently in interesting ways, and how it combines that with an open world, for example, I think is really interesting. Hey, Love Dies, what's happening? Just enjoying the island, you know. I mean, obviously I hate this place, but you gotta make the best of it, haven't you? If you ain't looking on the bright side, you ain't living. That's optimistic. Shinji seems pretty optimistic. If you're not optimistic, you've got a problem. Life's too short. All of us in the Syndicate are immortal. Then you've got far bigger problems than being optimistic. Anyway, can't stay here yapping. I'm a busy demon. Hey, Shinji, are demons mortal? Like, do demons typically die? And if, I guess, either way, what is going to happen to you when this island ends, as it is supposed to do, like, really soon? Ooh, Gleaming Male Idol card. Collectible card of an amateur pornographic actor. Underground pornography often springs up in the apartment blocks. I bet it does. Joyous fish food. And here's a vending machine. D5. Okay, I gotta wrap up, but I really want to go find this power station or whatever, so I don't accidentally think that I already did it again. What the hell is that thing? I guess it's a light. It's like a big spotlight hanging off the edge of a building. So where did that go? Like, there's a pole, and then I don't see the lines coming off of it. They go to here, and then they go up to here, and then they go this way, over this way, to there. Okay, and then around... Holy shit, is this going to be like a whole big maze sort of a thing? And then they come around here. Up here, there's another Shinji. To there. And do they end there? Okay, can I get up there? Oh my gosh, I'm so close. Come on. There we go. Alright, Shinji? How's your day going, Love Dies? Having a good time? Having a blast? I get the sense these are not sequential. I think they're tied to location, but they don't really have a strong either narrative continuity or spatial placement. Which honestly, like, that might be an interesting thing to have done, is to give them a stronger sense of, like, they are located in this particular place. think they're mostly just sort of like randomly placed. How's your day going, Love Dice? Having a good time? Having a blast?
The investigator is here.
Investigation is in my blood. That's the spirit. Screw the murdered council, so long as you're getting yours, eh? That is what you meant. Later's gotta shoot. Okay, so how did that help me? That helped me not at all. The power lines just sort of end here. So was there no reason for me to do this? Yeah, they don't feel tied to the location. They don't feel like they are necessarily tied to the location. I think they are, because that is typical of how you would construct a game like this. And it's just from a cost-benefit standpoint, I bet that's how they are done. They don't feel especially tied to that. It doesn't feel especially meaningful that that's how it's done. The gold plate. Okay, I gotta find a gold plate. Where's Shinji? Over there? Is that... Yes, there he is. You glad to be back? An investigation to end all investigations, the biggest crime of all. I envy you. I'd love a purpose, a noble cause, a vocation.
I was born to investigate.
There you go. That's the spirit. A bit of enthusiasm. I'm expecting big things from you, Love Dies. I mean, Shinji is also, like, weirdly involved with me. Did we get, like, a convincing reason for why that is? Okay, I'm coming this way. We're gonna do it this way instead. So... Oh, I do remember this. Yes, that's right. Here it is. It's right here. And we did flip it. We did flip it. We did it. Okay. So, in that case, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go up here. And let's fast travel. Down here. Paradise Gates. Do it. Go there. And that's where we're going to stop. And we'll come back next week. And we can access a new Nightmare computer. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun for us, I think. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for bearing with my schedule changes the last couple of weeks. So I'm still waiting for confirmation of some meetings that are getting scheduled, but I think I'm just going to call it. Starting next week, my regular schedule is going to change. It has been, in theory, Wednesdays and Fridays. It's going to now be Wednesdays and Thursdays. So this will become a regular streaming time, and I should be getting my Wednesday afternoon back after this week. So starting next week, that should be that should work out better. And Fridays just seem to get cropped up with meetings. So I think that Thursday is going to work out better. So regular schedule change, Wednesdays and Thursdays going forward, and that should be effective next week. I should actually get to do that next week, unless things go wrong, which, there's always a chance. Yeah, and I feel like we made major progress today. We finally did a thing that I think we were supposed to do fairly early on, which it's nice of the game that it didn't gate us more, right? Like we did a ton of stuff before we went and talked to Crimson Acid. But now that we have talked to Crimson Acid, I think that opens up a bunch of doors for us. And one of them specifically is going to be that door in the top of the barracks. So we will go investigate that next week, I am sure. Thanks to folks who were here live and hung out in the chat and had questions and comments. It's a lot of fun to talk about the game while I'm playing it. So thank you for that, for being here. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to continuing to play this game. I think we will round the corner towards the end at some point. I don't think we're quite there yet, but it's a good ride. So in the meantime, have a good rest of your week, a good weekend this weekend. I'll see you on Monday for Mostly Walking, and then next week for the new schedule, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Enjoy yourselves in the meantime. Stay safe, be well, and I'll see you next week. Bye.